Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Scope. And now, here are your hosts, Jared, Adam, and Shane.
Hey, Scope fans, episode 201. 201, or as I like to call it, the after party to episode 200.
Wow.
I mean, we just celebrated all week long, guys. We just hung out, drank Cavassier, fancy bourbons.
It's annoying that you have to have like a special glass just to drink that.
I know. Triscuit pizzas, Jared. We brought them back. It's good.
What is a Triscuit? That's a pizza bagel, but on a
It's a Triscuit. It's a Triscuit with a dab of tomato sauce.
Ketchup? Okay.
No. A fancy mozzarella and a one single.
If by fancy you mean, Target house brand mozzarella, yeah.
And then one pepperoni.
Just one.
And then you bake it
pepperoni.
up. And you got a mini Triscuit pizzas.
I can't have tomatoes anymore, so what's my
What?
alternative?
Are we really to that point where you can't have tomatoes?
Yep.
So what do you, for pizza, do you get like a white sauce?
I'm usually just getting white pizzas, like non-sauce pizzas.
How long is Maddie going to put up with this till she divorces you over this? Because she loves a good tomato sauce.
It's the main thing you know about her. She loves a good tomato sauce.
She does.
I don't know. I mean, we already have the papers written up for divorce. Like they're just sitting at the front door, so that whoever it's like whoever reaches for their pen first.
It's like the
Well, standoff. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
the tomato sauce clause, we call that.
Yeah.
Exciting. Wow. Well, really starting the show off on a low
It's okay.
low energy moment there. It's sort of sad.
Don't worry.
Bring it down.
Well, we're back. Yeah, episode 200 is over. We had a great trivia contest, which I think you two did pretty well, all
Thank
things
you.
considered.
Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed it.
It was fun.
I encourage everyone to go back, listen to episode 200.
You know
Again,
when you watch like a game show and you're sitting like watching the TV and you're like yelling at the contestant like because you know the answer. Literally, no one did that for.
no, we couldn't even do it for ourselves.
Whoops. Wrong tab.
Jared is moving this show to the end game. I love it.
Shut it down.
I love it.
Almost our quickest episode of all time.
Yeah, we got to keep working on that, guys.
Yeah.
Keep it tight. Well, keep speaking of keeping it tight. Not a lot of prep for this episode because it is a nerd roundtable.
Yeah.
You guys can't prep for this. It's just off the cuff questions.
And we got a lot to cover, so we're probably going to run long.
Oh my god. This episode of Nerd Roundtable is a bit of a theme. We're going to be looking
Brought to you
at
by Shakey's Pizza.
Shakey's Pizza, the place where Adam can't eat because there's no way they'd ever have a white pizza there. We're looking ahead to the year 2015, pop culture style. And we're going to
we're in 2015 right now.
Well, nothing's happening right now.
All
We've
right.
established that with the coming soon. So
But Jupiter Ascending was released to Blockbuster
smashed all
box office records. American Sniper, what? Get out of here.
I think Star Wars actually will be pulled this year.
Yeah.
Because of Jupiter Ascending.
Yeah.
Because they know that Jupiter is going to run for like 12 months solid.
It's gonna pull in all the sci-fi bucks.
They can't do it.
Sci-fi bucks. There's like Carl Sagan on the front of those.
Sci-fi bucks. I got to write that down. Listeners, viewers, I'm writing this down right now. Sci-fi bucks.
Take note.
Carl Sagan. Billions and billions of bucks.
That was an okay.
There might be
impression.
better quotes to come. Just prepare yourself. Keep that pen handy.
That was more of a Lorne Michaels, I think,
Yeah.
than a Carl Sagan. It
No,
was good.
I'm trying to do him in him now, and I can't do it. Anyway,
Pale blue dot.
Nerd Roundtable coming at you, coming at us.
Yep.
Full power force. I love it. So let's take a quick break. We'll run a commercial,
Got to pay the bills.
pay the bills, and then we'll come back with Nerd Roundtable episode 201. Adam, Jared, Shane, me after this. Bye-bye.
Whether you're attending MarsCon 2015 or not, you can still help out this year's performing comedy music acts by ordering the MarsCon 2015 Dementia Track fundraiser album. Available to purchase both as an MP3 upload and as a 3-CD set, it's just under 4 hours of excerpts from all of MarsCon 2014's live main stage concerts. The funds raised will go towards covering the hotel room costs for the Dementia Track main stage concert performers this year. This year's collection includes comedy and music by Possible Oscar, Power Salad, TV's Kyle, Insane Ian, Worm Quartet, Carrie Dalby, Devo Spice, The Great Luke Ski, Henry Phillips, DJ Particle, Beth Kinnerman and the player characters, Mikey Mason, Cornflake, Half of Sap, Cirque du Soleil, and the Feng Shui Ninjas. You can get the 3-CD set with MP3 download for just $30, or you can just get the MP3 download-only version for $20. If you'd like to hear a free 40-minute preview of the collection, there's a link to download that at our website. You can order the MarsCon 2015 Dementia Track fundraiser album right now from the fundraiser shop menu at MarsConDementia.com. Thanks for listening, and I hope to see all you funny music fans at MarsCon 2015.
Now we're back. The Scope, episode 201.
I wanted to gently ramp down on the music. Sorry.
It's Nerd Roundtable style, folks. And what does Nerd Roundtable mean to you, Adam? It means we're talking about stuff, pop culture stuff. This time around,
This table is not round.
It isn't. Is the internet round, though? Perhaps.
Yeah, it's always expanding. It's round.
It's a series of tubes, so
I love
they
it.
tend to be round.
Yeah, we're talking about pop culture events of 2015. It's quiet now, for the most part, but this year, a lot of big-time events are happening.
The veritable calm before the storm, Shane.
It is. I mean, we're just, battening down the hatches, getting ready for those giant waves of pop culture goodness to wash over us.
Wow.
Is that pretty good, Jared?
Yeah, it's good. Giant waves of pop
Working
culture
something
goodness.
about climate change.
They're going to inundate us. It's like a superstorm of pop culture.
Superstorm Sandy of... Hey, Shane, are you writing something down again?
Write it down, baby.
I'm writing some notes.
Write it down. Write it down.
Question
write it
number
down.
one for our Nerd Roundtable, guys. Adam, is 2015 going to be the year of Disney? Let's look at what they have cooking.
Okay.
Avengers 2, Ant-Man, Daredevil, Star Wars, Inside Out, that's Pixar film number 1. The Good Dinosaur, Pixar film number 2.
They're doing 2?
2 films this year. Wow. The question is this the year where Disney becomes unstoppable? Who could compete with this? They're setting themselves up for probably even a bigger year of battle in 2016 in terms of them fighting with Warner Brothers and maybe even a little bit of Sony Pictures from the
with
superhero aspect.
Batman, Superman, 2016.
Maybe you get some sort of Spider-Man spin-off in 2016. We'll have to see.
Sure.
Fox with X-Men in 2016.
Mm-hmm.
Is Disney doing everything right?
I think we have to wait to see how Star Wars turns out.
Well, we're going to be waiting a long time. That's not till December.
Yeah,
Right.
we're almost in 2016.
We're all about snap judgments here. We need to know now.
I would say based on track records, we have to kind of say yes.
Yeah.
The movies that you just mentioned, I would say, not the Pixar ones probably. The other ones are all strong contenders to be, the number one movie at the U.S. box office.
I don't know about Ant-Man. Come on.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
A number of them.
Sure.
Ant-Man will be like first Thor successful. That's what I think it will be.
Sure. I mean, yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy, I don't think anyone expected that to do
No.
as well as it did this year, but I don't think Ant-Man will be the same.
No.
Right.
No.
It won't have as good of a soundtrack. So that alone.
Done.
But
you mock it, but that was a big part of its success.
speaking of mocking,
I'm not mocking anything. How dare you?
Speaking of mocking,
Yeah.
Mhm.
the only movie that I could think of that's not on this list that would be a potential number one is the last Hunger Games movie, which is not a Disney
True.
movie.
True.
Does that come out into this?
That comes out in November.
Like Thanksgiving time
Yeah.
again. Yep.
I don't have that on my list for my next question, but I'll mention it.
So if you mean by is 2015 the year of Disney, meaning will they have the number one movie and maybe a couple others in the top 5?
Yeah.
Maybe. But I don't know, will Jurassic World actually make money? Will it be super popular like the first one?
We'll have to see.
I don't know. I would say everything based on, assumptions that we're going to go with from today, I would have to guess that this is going to be the year of Disney.
Do you concur, Jared?
Well, you say unstoppable. I'm not sure what you mean by unstoppable.
Put your own frame of reference in it.
I mean, is it?
The number one movie studio of the year.
why wouldn't they? They have all of the properties that make money. They have the Marvel movies. They have the Pixar movies. They have Star Wars. Star Wars is going to be the #1 movie, isn't it? Don't you think?
Was it?
Can it make that in 2 weeks?
Oh, I suppose. I mean, if you're going to go in calendar year, I guess, then it's in trouble there. But
Yeah.
I mean,
I think-
overall gross, it's going to.
I think Avengers 2 will probably be the biggest grossing movie of 2015.
I would agree with that. Is,
That's what
is
I
Star Wars going to do better than Avengers?
Overall,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
I think it does.
How did?
But it doesn't
Phantom
matter because they're
Menace-
both Disney
it
movies.
doesn't matter.
So
It's all going to the same.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
How did the Phantom Menace do?
Very well.
It did.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Because I remember it was came out 9 months after Titanic, and that was like all the talk was.
Yeah.
Will it beat Titanic?
Phantom Menace did very well, but keep in mind that same time, The Matrix also came out. So The Matrix was by far the more modern, talked about movie. So, but I'm pretty sure Phantom Menace beat Matrix in terms of its box office. Phantom Menace did not beat Titanic, obviously.
Right.
But
Disney is poised for some monumental
Yep.
success.
if they
Huge. I mean, the Marvel movies make money. Period.
Yeah.
The Avengers make great money.
I think what Disney needs to do is make sure that none of these films are poor films. I mean, they could be average films,
Mhm.
but they need to limit missteps, especially in the Marvel movie universe,
Sure.
to very small little things. Because I think a lot of people in the nerd community are sort of waiting. They're sharpening their claws for
They're waiting for that misstep.
so we can rip into the Marvel movies because nothing good lasts forever. Same with Pixar. I mean, that was the same. Pixar was always when are they going to screw up? And then they sort of did with Cars,
Mhm.
at least from a critical standpoint.
Yeah.
And they haven't really completely recovered from that, with some of like the Cars sequels and Brave, which
Right. Well, Toy
I
Story 3 came out after
Yeah.
Cars, and
I
that
mean,
was
it was just very much they're human.
Yes.
they can make mistakes.
they haven't made
They're not back to
a
the
Toy Story 3 level movie since Toy Story.
And a lot of people are talking about Inside Out as maybe being that film. I think it might be a little too high concept.
I'm not even
be
familiar
that.
with that one. What's this?
So the story is that you've got a young girl, and you sort of go through the story of her inside of her head, where she's got
It's like
different
Herman's head.
different
It
emotions.
is exactly Herman's.
Okay.
Yes, she's got different emotions, and so you're following these different emotions. So Amy Poehler, Bill Hader plays voices. There's like happy and fear and stuff like that. So I don't know how it's going to play out. I mean, the cast and the people that are in it, voicing it, very very exciting. But
Mhm.
the story itself, I'm not really sure how it's going to play out.
Can we talk real quickly just
Yes.
about the turnaround that Disney has had in everything really, but specifically in their live action film department? I don't remember when the Marvel acquisition was completed,
Sure.
but just a couple years ago, people were talking about doomsday scenarios because of John whatever from Mars.
Yeah.
And
Well, that was in the Marvel time period, was it not?
I think so.
Or was it right before them by Marvel?
I think it
don't
was
know.
maybe while the integration was happening.
Sure.
But what we're talking about here is we're talking about films that are going to be successful that are properties they went and bought.
Yeah, that's
Sure.
That's
It's not
your
stuff.
key.
It's not stuff that they developed internally.
Adam
Right.
said it. Acquisition.
Yeah.
Acquisition. But then they still have things like Pirates of the Caribbean and things like that, which are from the Disney studios,
True.
which have had success, and they try to keep. You've got the Tomorrowland movie coming out,
Yeah.
which I think we'll talk about, or at least I will bring up. But I mean, so they are doing other things, but the key word is acquisition, and they are building their success by going out and buying other companies that are, associated with great properties that have been doing well with those properties, or at least keeping them in the public eye.
There's no doubt that they're poised for great movie success.
Yeah.
I think the bigger question is, are their TV properties going to do well?
Are you talking Marvel properties?
Well, yes, obviously. That's
Yeah.
what's on the list here. We're talking about that. I mean, they haven't. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has been a disappointment.
Yep.
Agent Carter, I think, ratings-wise, has been a disappointment.
Creatively successful, but
Yeah.
not completely catching on with
And it doesn't help that it was preempted a few weeks back by the State of the Union.
Yep.
So
Obama again. He
you-
won both elections.
You've got so now we've got Daredevil and maybe Jessica Jones hitting Netflix.
Yep.
I think these need to be a success
They do.
for them to really get a foothold in the TV part. But yeah, Netflix is a whole different beast.
It is. That's the thing. The fact that you will have these shows for mass consumption all at once.
Right.
It's you don't need every single person on the planet
No,
watching it. It's
and they
different.
are
and they're superhero
they're
based.
proper superheroes. That's the other thing. The downside of that is that it's you get it all at once, so they have to have it right.
Mhm.
Whereas Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. could adjust as they went along because it was a weekly
which
thing.
they have
They
done.
definitely did do. It just they shed all their audience before they got to that point. So yeah, I don't know. That's the wild card. We'll see.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. There's nothing incorrect that he said there, Adam.
Yes.
Correct.
Cool.
Question
I'm
2.
still waiting for a proper trailer for Daredevil to get excited for. I mean, it's coming in April.
Mm-hmm.
We're not that far away,
It's a
so
little
let's see something
Let's
a
get
little
it
more
out there.
solid, a little
It's
more
done.
finished.
The filming is done. They've probably got multiple episodes close to being finished. Let's figure this out, guys. Question 2. Sequels and reboots. Sequels and reboots. This is a common theme for us every time we talk about this stuff, but here's just a short list of a bunch of stuff that is going to make complete sense to you. Jurassic World, Mad Max, Fury Road, Furious 7, Terminator Genesis, which, by the way, my spell check hates that word.
Mm-hmm.
Ted 2, Insurgent, which is the sequel to Divergent. Hunger Games, you mentioned. Which of these movies are going to fly and which movies are going to sink? Or are they all going to be successful? I mean, this list has really, if you look at it, all these movies could be very, very successful.
Yeah, I think
What movies have the biggest question marks to you, Adam?
Ted somehow did really well.
It did.
Not critically. I don't think it. It was whatever.
And I wasn't in love with it. I
Right.
thought it was all right. I
But
think Jared liked it better
made
than
a
me.
lot. It was.
I did, but I'm not interested in the sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was the what's the stupid
Seth
Vegas
MacFarlane.
movie? No. It was the R-rated comedy that somehow managed to do really well.
Oh, like The Hangover.
Like the Hangover.
Sure.
Yes, it was the Hangover of.
You get one of
that
those
year.
during the summer usually. A 21 Jump Street will
Yeah.
break out. Let's Be Cops last year. Huge success, Jared.
Right.
I have a hard time thinking Ted 2 will be able to do that again. The rest of them,
Terminator Genesis, that's a big question mark there.
There was an ad during the Super Bowl, right, which we all watched and were enthralled by, and it was.
And the verdict's still out for me.
I'm intrigued by it.
I am too, but the word on the street, Jared, is that a lot of trouble behind the scenes.
Yeah,
brother.
but
not even some of the casting issues, some of the reimagining of previous characters. If you're tying this movie into other Terminators, how are they going to get around that?
Yeah, but the way that the storyline works is that they can kind of take as many liberties as they need to, because it sort of becomes an alternate timeline.
Yes.
So I'm not worried about that, I guess.
If there's something that I like, it's blowing stuff up and time travel.
Mm-hmm.
So the Terminator series, the last 2 movies have not been good. Right?
No.
Everything after Judgment Day is
Dicey.
I
yeah.
liked 3 for the most
Okay.
part.
But they're unnotable.
Salvation was very hit and miss.
Yeah.
But think about it like, does it stay in your brain like the
No.
way 2 did?
No.
It's not as iconic. I mean, it was all right.
Yeah.
To me, both of them were all right, but not done like the second one.
Sure. So
Spending
I
a lot
would
of time
say-
on Terminator.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so to move on to another, this one, I don't know if Fury Road is considered a sequel or if it's a reboot.
I said sort of a reimagining.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that one looks the sharpest.
It's
of
the one
bunch.
I'm holding out the most hope for. I don't really care if the other ones aren't anything. I watched Divergent. That
I did
movie
too.
Is
I just had it on. Yeah, I watched half of it.
Oh.
It is really underwhelming.
it is
Poorly cast,
it
by
is,
the way.
I really like that girl because
Not in that movie.
Right,
I don't.
right.
No.
The Fault in Our Stars. I thought she
Yeah.
was wonderful in, but
It felt like a CW version of the Hunger Games.
Yes,
Is what
like,
it felt like.
Way too much training.
yeah.
And the world building felt really incomplete.
right.
Too many cute people. The characters are all very, very cookie cutter, very predictable.
Too many inspirational pop songs to underscore key moments.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
it was
it's-
a really disappointing.
Yeah, I just
film.
watched that the other day too.
They do a weird thing in the first one also where it's kind of like they're hinting at there's more to either her powers or the world than you're told, especially in the trailer for
She's divergent.
right.
Yeah.
And
She can't make up her mind.
They don't
That's her
really
problem.
explain very well.
Yeah.
right, and it really brought me back to the Matrix movies where the Wachowskis were like, oh no, we totally know where we're going, and it's like
Keep
maybe-
in mind, this is
maybe not. I know
a
the
series of books,
yeah.
so
Yeah.
so they do know where they're going.
Yeah.
At least from that.
Is the
first
book
book.
series done?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I have it on my very, very heavy Kindle app on my.
Definitely not as compelling as the Hunger Games world.
No.
Yes. So
Jurassic World. I think that movie's going to make gobs of money, but I think there are issues.
Did 2 or 3 do well?
Yeah, they did fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you will remember Jurassic Park, but the other ones did fine with decreasing success.
Sure. Vince Vaughn, the main thing I remember about Jurassic Park 3.
I think about it, and I love Chris Pratt, but trained raptors as attack dogs.
Mhm.
I don't. To me, that feels like it's pushing it more into the realm of fantasy and less staying in that world of like science fiction-y, which
Right.
that was always my favorite part of Jurassic Park. Always my favorite part of Jurassic Park, the book.
Yep.
So the verdict is out.
Did Crichton write this?
No.
Okay.
No, they're
He's been dead for
years.
Okay.
There may be elements from some of the books in it, but they sort of and I've read Jurassic Park and Jurassic Park 2, the books, and they kind of merge stuff. Jurassic
Right.
Park, the book in general, was a lot bigger than Jurassic Park.
Yep.
That was always a disappointment to me. So I think that's what they're trying to get with Jurassic World. Let's make it big and whatever. And the concept is sound. Now we figured it out, and we can make a world, a playground where this can exist. But
Mhm.
we got to train raptors, I guess. I don't know. Got to train raptors. So yeah, I think we are all on the same page. Jared, do you feel like Fury Road might be the dark horse underdog fun one of the bunch?
It definitely looks fun. It's the simplest of them.
Yeah.
In that it's like a 90-minute chase scene, from what I understand. So
It feels like it's like truest to what Mad Max was.
yeah,
And like
just
we're
insane
all
action.
real stuff, real cars, crazy, desert psychos. Let's not mess with the formula. To me, that's what's intriguing. If you're gonna reboot something, let's not add trained raptors. Let's just have really crazy, batshit cars with Charlize shaving her head. I mean, she shaved her head for the role. Good for her.
Good job.
Yeah.
All
She,
right.
Hey, she put on weight for Monster, and she won an Academy Award. So maybe.
I like her.
What's Furious 7? I just didn't.
Fast and Furious 7.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I just recognize as FF7.
That speaking of batshit crazy, that's going to be an interesting movie because all those Furious movies, Fast and Furious, will definitely have like this weird, like overtly bizarreness to them,
Yeah.
over the top. And this one, when you're losing your lead, Paul Walker, how do you deal with that? Can you be as zany and,
Make
and
it
crazy?
crazier.
Yeah, like I just don't know how they're going to deal with it. I'm kind of curious to see, Jared.
Yeah.
If we win tickets to see that film,
Yeah.
what my reaction is going to be, because there were elements of Fast and Furious 6 that I really liked, and then there were just other parts where
I really like
I couldn't figure it out.
that series is good. It is.
I would not go that far.
It
This
is
will be
an
your first Jason Statham film.
underrated.
Yeah.
You didn't see the not Incredibles. What's the Stallone stupid series?
Cobra.
Expendables.
Expendables.
Never saw it.
Oh.
No. Guys, let's switch over to TV.
Let's do it.
David Letterman's retirement impacts a whole slew of late night programs this year. From the Colbert Report to the Late Late Show, things are changing whether we like it or not. So my question is this: do you have any interest in any of these new late night shows? So I'm talking about Colbert taking over for Letterman, Larry Wilmore's show, The Nightly Show, and then the Late Late Show with James Corden. And then you still got Seth and Jimmy Fallon, kicking it in their second year. Anything of interest to you? We'll start with Jared.
I will say that I greatly miss the Colbert Report. It's been
It's a whole.
it's weird coming back and watching the Daily Show, not having it segue right into Colbert. I've been watching the later show. Is that what it's called?
The
Nightly Show
The
with
Nightly
Larry
Show,
Wilmore.
yep.
It's okay. I mean, I know it's a young show. I'm willing to be forgiving on it.
Do you like this as much as you like the Colbert Report? You didn't.
I
Watch it
don't
when
like
it first
I
started.
don't like this as much as I liked the Colbert in its final years, because that show was so sharp and so on point and so well done that nothing could be compared to it. It's just it was extraordinary. I'm willing to cut the Nightly Show a little slack because they're going to figure it out, I hope.
Yep.
I already noticed even within the first week that Larry Wilmore became much more relaxed in his delivery. But I don't know. I'm not sold on all the segments and how everything are structured. So we'll see if they change things over time. But I'm sticking with it for now.
Yeah, I think for me, the show that I'm most intrigued by, at least initially, is going to be what Steven does on his takeover for Letterman, just because I want to see what regular Steven is versus this character.
I'll probably watch the first few of that,
Yeah.
but I just am not a late night variety show guy.
Yeah, I've sort of grown out of that. I used to be a religious David Letterman watcher when I was younger, and then up until through college, I watched Letterman all the time. I loved it, but it just didn't work for me as well. But I will definitely give Colbert a shot. What about you, Adam?
Yeah, I feel the same way. I don't know if you guys have watched any of Seth Meyers' show.
Nope.
They talked before it starting as it wasn't necessarily going to follow the typical monologue, skit, interview form, and it totally has.
That's what it is.
Exactly. So
There's something about that formula that works, obviously.
Sure.
It's comfort food.
And I have to assume Colbert's show is going to follow the same formula. But you would watch Letterman, and sometimes he wouldn't get to his first guest until half an hour in.
Sure.
He had a lot of time to do his own stuff. So if you think about it, Colbert Report was half an hour long, and they follow the same sort of thing and give Stephen, half an hour to kind of.
If there's anyone who can vamp,
right?
Yeah.
He's very good interviewer. He's very smart.
Yep.
And imagine what he can do for interviews when he's not trying to be somebody else.
Sure.
I mean, that's what I'm thinking. Like, okay, this guy's got chops.
But I don't
and he's likable.
want to commit 90 minutes,
Yeah.
with commercials, whatever it really winds up being, to anything on a daily basis.
Except masturbation.
Exactly.
Which, lock it in.
I'm very
you
slow
put that on
about
a
it.
grid and you just stick to it.
You grid it out. Just like I do with the scope shows. When I write down all the content, I grid it out.
But whatever. It's easy on those shows to just fast forward through, every guest and just watch the monologue if that's all you're into. But I mean, yes, it's going to be toned down. I liked the Colbert character a lot.
Yeah.
But I've liked him since forever. I liked him on Strangers with Candy. And everything.
You liked him on the Daily Show.
Yeah. So I will definitely give him a much longer try than even when Conan moved to TBS, and I must have watched that for 8 months.
Yeah.
And I was like, what am I doing? This is because Conan wasn't really good consistently on NBC either, late or early.
Conan is good in chunks of him going to Taco Bell and making it,
Yes.
fancy tacos. That's where Conan excels.
Yes.
He's not a great interviewer.
Watching the weekly, here are the best things from the Conan show this week is a good format for that.
And it works for TBS. So
the big question mark is this James Corden guy. I don't see it being a thing that people tune in for.
They don't need a lot from that hour of TV.
I mean, I liked Craig Ferguson.
Craig Ferguson was critically underrated on what he did on that show. If you want to have a show that doesn't follow the same format, he was genius in so many ways, where he would just go and seems like he was making it up as he went along. In those beginning, he'd bring puppets out and skeleton. The crazy sidekick robotic skeleton. I can't. It just boggles my mind that he could get away with that.
And he would just have a conversation with his guests. He wouldn't really interview them, which was great.
I loved him, and I sort of feel like they could have kept him on because I think that he would have been a great companion to Stephen Colbert. I mean, that show was just that good, so it's too bad. James Corden is a wild card that may or may not matter.
I guess.
You know what I mean?
I have no experience with him. I know he was on Colbert like in the last week or so.
Yep.
But I have
he's not even a huge star.
He's not even a thing.
Yeah, I mean, so
he's like a stage guy, isn't he?
Yeah. So I
kind of seems like a weird choice to me, but whatever.
And Ferguson probably was a weird choice because he was on Drew Carey's show as the evil boss. I mean, so why would you pick him?
Yeah,
we'll see. Next question, guys. I can't answer this, so it's to you only. AMC is hoping for big things with Better Call. Is it Saul?
Mm-hmm.
The prequel series to Breaking Bad.
It's not Saul.
So what do you guys think? Is this show, how close is it going to get to the magic that was Breaking Bad? And then the bigger question is, are prequel anything ever a good idea? Because since you always know what comes after, are you completely deflating, the urgency and the story of what it is because it takes place before something that's already happened?
I don't know that this is ever going to fully allude to Breaking Bad, though.
And I don't know. I know that you may have crossovers with people.
Sure.
From that show.
I'm sure. Yeah,
I mean,
characters will
the
be
Ermintrout character is on there.
Yeah.
I mean, there's.
But I have low expectations for this. I don't really know why.
So it stars Odenkirk, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who is pretty crazy talented. I mean, that guy is all over the place doing very diverse roles.
Sure.
Fargo and this and
The Birthday Boys just canceled. R.I.P.
He
Oh
did.
no,
Mr. Show.
Mr.
they
Show.
did those Nerdist Show appearances though. How? Anyway,
Yeah, I mean, so this guy has got some. He's got some chops. There's no
Yeah,
doubt
yeah.
about it.
Sure.
Surprisingly interesting.
Yeah. I don't know. When they first announced it, I think everyone kind of had the same like, what?
To
but
me,
also
it felt like when they first announced it, like this was going to be like
A comedy?
maybe
or
a
what?
comedy limited run just to sort of have fun with the character. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm on board with that. But it seems to have evolved into, I'm basing this just on how it's being marketed and Bob Odenkirk's own interview talk. It's evolved into more of a drama. I mean, it's still going to be funny,
Yeah.
obviously, because the character always kind of brought some laughs, but it's gotten into be more of the traditional drama role. So it's not going to be as big as Breaking Bad. It's impossible. There's no way you could get there because Cranston was just magic in that role.
Sure.
So I don't know. I'm hopeful. I guess I'm happy that it didn't debut last fall, that they gave it some more time.
To breathe a
to-
little bit, to evolve.
Yeah, and just to get the show a little more polished and a little more figured out. But I like Adam. I have low expectations. I'm not sure how this is going to be a series that runs for multiple seasons. But
But you never know.
Vince Gilligan is very talented
Yeah.
too,
Mhm.
so we'll see
got
what he comes up with.
Ridiculously good
I'm
track
hopeful.
record. Okay, that's fair enough.
I'm
And
hopeful, but you're right. Prequels are challenging because you know what comes later, and so you only have a certain amount of space that you can operate in order to keep things on track for what happens already. So-
Name a successful prequel.
movie or TV show?
Anything.
Anything?
I mean, you could argue success, but the Hobbit movies have made money. But
Yeah.
I guess are they a prequel? Sort of, but we already knew what the
Yeah.
stories were, so I guess that doesn't really count.
I mean, you've got some of like the Star Wars cartoons that fill in some of the blanks that might be successful, but even those aren't as compelling as people being excited for what's going to happen in the new movie.
Right.
It's just
It's always more exciting when you don't know
Mhm.
where things are going.
exactly.
X-Men First Class. I'm not being serious about this response, but no, wait, I have
He's
one.
on it. He's on it.
I have one. Fast and Furious 3: Tokyo Drift.
Next question.
It is a prequel. It is a prequel. It happens before the events of 1 and 2.
Name one thing we haven't talked about that you are looking forward to in 2015. I will start. I'll make it brief.
Go ahead.
I'm looking forward to the movie Sisters. Tina Fey, Amy Poehler. I don't really know much about it, but I do know that it's a proper starring vehicle for both of them, and I'm always curious to see what those two are going to do.
Baby Mama was so good.
Never saw it.
It's,
Never
it-
saw it.
it's not that good.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that I always have high hopes when those
Sure.
two are in the room together.
Yes, as
Did-
you should.
Adam,
I thought you were going to talk about Tomorrowland.
I mentioned it, but
Okay.
you can bring that up if you want.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
I,
that's an intriguing one.
Iron Giant will always hold a special place for me. I really like Brad Bird, so
Mhm.
I hope that's good.
I hope so too.
Pitch Perfect 2. I am genuine about my
Still haven't seen it.
love of Pitch Perfect, and so I really hope Pitch Perfect 2
Adam's
is,
pop culture tastes range between Pitch Perfect 2,
No, just Pitch Perfect 1. I don't-
Pitch Perfect 1, and Hearthstone.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Jared.
I'm in the TV realm on the stuff I'm looking forward to because we covered a lot of movies. I'm looking forward to the maybe last season of Community on Yahoo.
Mm-hmm.
That could be fun. That's coming in March.
I can
is it?
watch that, right?
Yes.
I don't have to pay anything to watch that.
Yahoo Screen or
Okay.
whatever. I'm looking forward to the Will Forte series from the dudes who did the Lego movie.
Coming soon.
The Last Man on Earth.
Yeah.
I believe it's March 1st on Fox.
My daughter has seen the commercials for that, and she thinks that looks really funny.
I think it could be a lot of fun. And I'm also looking forward to, and I wasn't looking forward to it until I heard the Sam Raimi interview on Nerdist, but I'm looking forward to the Ash vs. Evil Dead TV series on Stars.
How are you going to get that?
I have Stars
How do you have Stars?
because it's part of my cable
What
package.
channel is Stars?
I don't know, 3 something.
I better look that up. Maybe I have Stars.
But I just like the fact that they're treating him like he's a PTSD patient, like he's survived this terrible
Yeah.
thing and now he has to deal with it. And I'd be very fun to see an adult Ash because obviously Bruce Campbell's back and the right people are in place to make the show a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Nice, Jared. So 2015 is shaping up to be a really incredible year,
It's got to be better than 2014.
and we've got to stay.
I can't wait till December when we're saying 2015. Can't wait till it's gone.
Well,
Let's
we've got
bring on
to
2016.
we've got to keep doing the scope for another year to at least talk about the mega battles that are going to be happening in 2016. But until then, let's concentrate on the good stuff for this year.
Right
So
on.
let's take a quick break. We'll be back with Adam and coming soon. Right of this.
Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the scope.
Under the scope.
Under the scope, coming soon.
I think we got the tail end of that sentence.
Adam.
Yes. All right. Some stuff that's coming out this week. We've got music from Father John Misty. They were at First Ave recently.
Interesting.
Michelle Chamuel. Michelle Ndegeocello. The
Michelle
Neil,
Obama.
The Neil Morse Band.
They're doing everything.
Ricky Martin.
Upside, inside out.
And Stick to Your Guns.
Is that the name of his album or a new band?
New band.
All right.
We've got movies coming
We
out
do.
this week. This is the first week with kind of two big movies. Potentially big, I don't know. First off, we've got the Twilight fan fiction novel turned movie. 50 Shades of Grey.
Oh.
Apparently the two leads of that film hate each other in real life, which is probably not going to be great for chemistry.
Or really great.
Great for chemistry.
Did they know that going into the project?
That they hated each other?
Maybe they hate
maybe
each
they
other
met each
now.
other like, oh boy, we're
Yeah.
both cast on this? Yikes. Ugh.
And Kingsman, The Secret Service. It's got good early reviews.
You got a good early review from Jared and Shane.
Well, not
Not from the dryer.
not recorded. That early review. That was just you. That was just us talking.
Yeah, but you can go check it out. And the backlog from January, we did record a review. Yeah.
Coming by the scoop. Yes, there is a review documented.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was cold when we recorded
on the
it.
internet webpage.
The Emperor was sitting in from Planet Planet Hot.
Yeah, that's right. The Emperor was there.
Home video. We've got
He actually was there.
101 Dalmatians.
The live action or the animated?
Disney is opening up the vaults.
You love to say that. I love it, and I love it when you say it. Disney's opening up the vaults.
Do you remember the old
I
commercials?
know, like they're creating this false need.
It's exactly what it was. It is the animated version. Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day.
Steve Carell, Jennifer Garner.
Just what's happened to them?
They do all sorts of movies.
Nightcrawler.
He's
Did you see
bamfing from place to place.
Did you see it? No.
We're opening the vault.
The other Nightcrawler.
We've opened the Nightcrawler vault. Oh, Jared's opening the vault.
It's a zipper. That sounds like someone.
That's a very shitty vault.
How about this one?
There we go.
Okay. It's more of a door opening.
Now, if you could put like a little sparkle sound at the end, because that's what they're opening it very slowly.
Also, that's like
They've opened the door 400 or 360 degrees, all the way open, just constantly. It's a revolving vault.
Okay. Video games.
Hmm.
Nope. Pretty much nothing yet again. We've got Story of Seasons.
Huh?
I don't know. Ace Combat, Assault Horizon Legacy.
Whenever
Plus.
there's nothing going on in video games, we have the dead weeks, there's always an Ace Combat game. They must have like 50 Ace Combat games.
Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate.
Another game I couldn't give a rat's ass about.
They're re-releasing Majora's Mask for the 3DS.
Yeah, I know. They're going crazy. Is that with the new 3DS system as well? The 3DS XL?
No, it's called something else.
They have so many damn
The
names
new
for it.
3DS?
Yeah.
It's got a better chip in it to do better.
And they have like another analog stick for camera, which why don't they just it's like a tiny little dot.
Yeah.
Why don't they just give them a proper analog
No
stick?
games will support this. Because Anyway.
Don't get me started. Don't even get me started.
What is Nintendo doing?
Jared, what are they doing? Let's spend an hour talking about it.
Yeah. Sega does what Nintendo don't.
That's right.
There is one thing, Jared, that Nintendo does.
What's that?
That's hit it or miss it.
Hit it or miss
I gotta
it.
look at this as I forget.
Hit of the week. Hit it or miss it. Miss of the week. Look out!
It's my turn, and Adam was lying when he said there wasn't video games. There is
Well,
one
that I was allowed to talk
You were
about.
teasing. There's one big game that's coming out. Is it a Valve game?
No, it is very similar to.
I thought it was the same company that did it.
No.
That did Left 4 Dead.
No, but
it's similar to the vein of the game Left 4 Dead, which is, if you remember, it's like a team zombie game where you have to run through missions and eventually get to the end and then
It's all co-op.
co-op. Yeah. This game is called Evolve, and essentially what it is it 4 players against 1, where you've got 4 fighters and they're taking on a giant beast, like a Godzilla type of
okay,
beast.
sure, yeah.
Monster.
I've seen preview footage of this.
Yeah, I don't know that much about it other than it's been talked about for a good year and a half, and it's finally being released to stores this week. I'm excited about it. I can pre-order if I choose. I have not done so yet, but you never know.
If you get it, let me know.
I will.
And if you get it for
I
PS4,
have so many games
I know.
that I can't justify it at this point.
I don't
But
think I'm going
you never know. We'll see what the reviews say. But it is Evolve coming out for Windows, Xbox One, and PlayStation 4. That's it.
Under the scope.
Jared,
Yeah.
take us home, baby dog.
What? Baby dog?
Baby dog.
Baby dog.
Jared will see you in HR.
Yes.
doesn't like being
I don't.
Damn
I don't feel
straight he will.
safe. I'm gonna have them pull out the doll and say, point at the doll where he touched you, and I will have to say inside my brain with his baby dog.
That poor doll.
I know.
To rip it apart.
It's gonna be sad. It's gonna be terrible. Hey, no comments this week. Sorry, guys. We used them all up in the first episode.
That's fine.
But if you have a comment to say about the show, maybe you're looking forward to something in 2015 that we didn't touch on, and you just really want to tell us about it, go ahead and email us, comments@thescopeshow.com. Call our voicemail line at 612-21-SCOPE. That's 612-217-2673. Or get in touch with us on the social medias.
There's a lot of them.
There's the Twitter, there's the Facebook, there's the Tumblr. All of those links are at our website at thescopeshow.com. Or you can watch our videos on this technology that I completely dismissed sometime in the past.
I love it.
The YouTubes, youtube.com/thescopeshow.
One question
Yeah.
and one word answer from you. Are you a bit disgusted by poo-pooing YouTube, looking back?
Yes.
Good.
You have
As
to
you
be.
should be.
You have to. In retrospect, you got to go, that was a fool.
Another
A fool made that statement.
Follow-up question, were you shocked that you said that?
Now?
Now, like looking back
I am
at
shocked now.
Okay.
But, I don't know.
He's like a futurist, this guy, usually.
I
Usually
mean,
he's right on
YouTube
top
was
of
in its infancy. It hadn't been acquired by Google yet. It was just... I don't know.
Third statement, I told my wife that, and she laughed out loud.
Well, let's go back to 2007 and see what she thought of YouTube. She would have been like, what's that?
She's still using the VCR back in 2007.
Yeah. Well, you got to relive those Bon Jovi moments.
P.S. We watched a Bon Jovi concert this weekend. BHM Classic.
If you'd like to support this witty back and forth that we do every time on the show here, you can become a Patreon patron. That's patreon.com/thescope
Yep.
show. You can contribute as little as $1 an episode, set a monthly cap, or cancel anytime. Join our small group of loyal patrons
Our
and
troop.
support the show directly.
Please.
Scopers, right? What did we decide was their
Scope
name?
Army?
Scope-a-dopes.
Scope. You decided that.
Oh, I think, didn't John Norton suggest that one?
Maybe he did.
I think he did.
know.
I like
Scope
it.
of dopes.
Or if you're shopping on Amazon, you can
Sort
head
of
over to...
derogatory, isn't it?
It is a little bit. Thescopeshow.com/Amazon.
Scope-a-wank-offs.
Click on our affiliate link. Make your purchase.
Amazon Prime, guys.
A little bit comes back our way. Helps us support this little thing we do here.
You should buy all your groceries on Amazon. I've heard that's the thing to do right now. Buy all your dry goods on Amazon.
Thinking about
Why?
it.
Cheaper. Don't have to go to the store.
Yeah, but then the UPS guy is all like judgy.
My UPS guy is my cousin. He doesn't judge. And that is true. Next.
That's all I got.
All right, Jared.
Is he your cousin or is he Carrie's cousin?
He is my cousin.
What do you call Carrie's cousin? Like a cousin-in-law?
Cousins, but I.
That's weird. I
Then
don't-
then I mutter under my breath, we're really not related.
Just
Okay.
bro. Hey, bro.
And it gets very complicated with Al, who is my cousin-in-law by marriage. Wrap your head around that. And with that,
How else would he be your cousin-in-law?
episode 201 is over. We'll talk to you next time. Jared, Adam, and Shane, bye for now.
A little early.
Ladies and gentlemen, we find ourselves once again at the end. I hope you've enjoyed our time together. I know I have. Fear not, Scope faithful. Days shall pass as if they were but a moment. And Jared, Adam, and Shane will return with another thrilling episode. Until then, send your comments to comments@thescopeshow.com or leave a voicemail message by dialing
612-21-SCOPE. That's 612-217-2673.
Thanks for listening, faithful fans. This is Tony Partington saying, hasta la vista. Tune in next time to another terrific edition of The Scope.